Hello everybody, welcome back to another Hof Bergmann Explained video. Today we're going to take a look at one of the two new crops introduced in version 1.2 of Hof Bergmann. But before that, this video is brought to you by Mark DuPont and Andre Yokoma. Thank you for being farm barons. So today we're going to take a look at Silphile, which is a new crop that has been reintroduced into Hof Bergmann version 1.2 for Farming Simulator 22. And the reason I say reintroduced is because this crop was first introduced to players back in the Hof Bergmann version for Farm Sim 19. Now let me read you a little bit about Silphile from the changelog. It says Silphile is a high energy plant. It is a perennial and has higher yield than corn. So corn is an annual type of plant. You have to plant it, it grows, it dies, you harvest. You're done. A perennial is like grass. You plant it, it grows, you harvest it, it comes back. You harvest it, it comes back. You harvest it. Plant once, harvest many is what a perennial is, if you were not familiar with that term. This crop can only be used with a forage harvester. There is no other way to harvest this particular crop. And with Farm Sim 22, there is a new way of planting this crop. In fact, we now have a modified and custom Grimmy PM300 planter that is available, and it is configured to exclusively work with Silphile seedlings. In fact, pallets of Silphile seedlings that you also buy at the shop. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we're going to come here to either mods and DLCs and then Hof Bergmann. That's the easiest place to find this stuff. And scroll on over. We're going to find the seedlings. $250 for 500 seedlings. And this particular planter will hold 3 pallets of these. And then we have the PM300 itself. And just like we would load any other seeder up, we're going to pull this up alongside the pallet. Then we're going to hit R to fill, and we're going to fill that on up. Now, this only has a 150 horsepower requirement. So I thought we'd try it here with the Massey Ferguson, which is listed as 170 horsepower in the shop. And off we go, seeding our Silphile. Now you will see up in the upper left corner, if you are playing with precision farming and you are using the custom precision farming that came with the map, that this does not have variable seed rate. Just going to let this go ahead and plant away. So here we have stage 1 growth. We've got another field of Silphile over here. This is set to stage 2 growth. We have stage 3 growth right here. And then the 4th and final stage of growth is stage 4, and that is what we see here. In fact, this shows ready to harvest. The ready to harvest state and stage 4 visually looks the same. Now, what do you do with chopped Silphile? Well, the same thing you would do with chopped corn. You would put it into a silage bunker. And since it has a greater yield than corn, and it comes back every year, this is a much more cost-effective crop in order to be planting, because it's, one, going to save you money, and the fact that you don't need to plant it every year. It's going to save you time, and the fact that you don't have to plant it every single year as well. So you're going to be able to put this in a silage bunker, either down at the BGA or one you place, or one of them that is pre-placed at the farm here. You're going to be able to actually use the GoWeil stationary balers to bale chopped Silphile. So that is a new bale type that has been added with Hof Bergmann and with the companion GoWeil expansion mod that is a part of the mods provided with the map. And then you could also sell your Silphile down at the pulp factory. And the pulp factory would then use this crop for the production of various paper type products. For those playing with the crop calendar enabled, you will notice that Silphile you can plant in May through August. And then with respect to harvest, we have a very narrow window of harvest between August and September. Let's go ahead and load this trailer up. I wanted to demonstrate for you the GoWeil stationary baler baling Silphile chopped bales that will ultimately then ferment into silage bales. And then I also wanted to demonstrate putting this into a silage bunker, compacting it and covering it up, which will then eventually turn this into silage, which we could then use for our cow feed. We could also use it down at the BGA as well for processing into methane. Not a lot of room up here. We can see with the HUD, we're now producing a chopped Silphile bale. This is just the stock GoWeil DLC, again with the companion mod that is included with the map itself. And here we have chopped Silphile that is listed as fermenting. As you can see, we are also able to unload our chopped Silphile into the silage bunker. When we do that, we get a new custom chaff texture. Now, one thing that we cannot do is we cannot use the fixed firm fermenter that is on the other side of the farm in order to ferment our chopped Silphile. That fermenter will not accept chopped Silphile. As you can see, we roll over it just like one would with chaff or grass that's been unloaded into the silage bunker. Then once I get this to 100%, I'm just going to go ahead and blanket this. We'll come back tomorrow. 1 month has passed since I blanketed the chopped Silphile, and as you can see here, we now have just traditional silage. Of course, we can do whatever we use silage for. We can make use of now the fermented chopped Silphile. We come over here to our bale that we made with the GoWeil stationary baler. It is also now 100% silage and ready to go. So guys, that is Silphile, one of the 2 new crops that is a part of Hof Bergmann version 1.2. The other crop is going to be clover. We're going to take a quick look at clover tomorrow. Overall, it's pretty standard like other maps that are going to have clover. But you know what? We're going to try to be as thorough as possible with this series. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this crop. If you're going to play Farm Sim and you're going to play Hof Bergmann, 1.2, is Silphile going to be a crop that you are going to invest in? And until next time, happy farming.